tree farm. We used to crop farm it in Dunn County in the township of Tainer. I've lived there since 1970, and I'm a descendant from farmers in Wisconsin, and I hope that these kind of rules don't set up an animosity between farmers and conservationists, which I consider myself one, because I have a child and I have a grandchild now, and I'm really concerned about their health and drinking water, and that's what we're talking about. And recently I became aware of some issues talking to a retired hydrologist in the town of Tainer, and he told me that most people don't know where their drinking water comes from, and actually it comes from aquifers which are filled up by the groundwater. And our aquifer in Dunn County is really good and clean yet, but if it becomes polluted, there's no way you can clean up the water once it has contaminants in it. So his idea, and I think it's a good one, is that we make local ordinances in each township, and he's drawn up maps for the recharge areas where the aquifer is recharged by the groundwater, and the zoning would protect these areas, and that would basically protect our aquifers too. So I think we're all concerned about the common good. We want farmers to make a living, and it's really important to the state of Wisconsin, but all of us want to be healthy and keep our families healthy too. So I think that would be our common concern. Thank you.
I also enjoy eating tasty and healthy Wisconsin dairy products. I never grew up on a farm, but I have visited and been around the backside of literally thousands of farms in Wisconsin, across the country, and in other countries. I've practically seen it all, the very good, the bad, and the ugly. As a rule, today's Wisconsin dairy producers are excellent stewards of the land, protecting our Wisconsin landscape. As a rule, the larger the farm is, the more equipment and policies and practices they have and utilize for proper nutrient distribution at the proper times, which yields improved environment. There has been recent concern or confusion among Wisconsin citizens and even within the dairy industry. The reason for this hearing is to establish if the current siting rules for dairy farms over 500 or the 700 cows are effective, period. The present livestock siting law is an excellent statewide, consistent standard that gives producers a clear understanding on what is required that does not require any changes. This hearing is not about pitting emotions of people against each other. The current siting rule seems to be a center of contention about economics of farm size versus land conservation or the environment. Records show a steady herd number growth recorded since 1885. Most every farm in Wisconsin milks more cows than they did in even 1970, which really economics have dictated. But it has nothing to do with the siting laws. All Wisconsin farms that I'm aware of are working family farms, including the very largest. I've had the privilege to get to know thousands of very small and large dairy producers and families who all put in 80 hours a week. They're all underpaid and they're all overworked. They do it for the love of their career and not for the income. Wisconsin dairy farms have a huge contribution to feed Americans. Food comes from all size family farms, but the majority comes from less than 10% of them. Wisconsin is a major exporter of dairy products to other parts of the nation, which drives Wisconsin's #1 $26 billion dairy economy. All Wisconsin-sized dairy farms need each other to support the infrastructure and keep it in place as much as possible. There is great efficiency on a larger farm, which continues to drive and increase farm size. Wisconsin's small and large producers shouldn't compete against each other, but they're really competing with farms in other states that incentivize the growth of current farms and recruit new dairy farms. Today's cows in Wisconsin are more comfortable than ever, which is proven by their increased health and milk production per cow. Wisconsin's milk quality and milk components, like protein, have never been better, even with the long historical trend of cows increasing per farm. Thank you very much.
Thanks. I don't even know how to start out, but you know, this morning a news flash came on the radio and it said about this meeting about something about factory farms, and it sort of makes my blood sort of boil because somebody has to define a factory farm. I mean, I have a farm. I have 3 sons on it. They would be the 3rd generation, and we milk 500 cows. We have millions of dollars invested in our farm, and you know, I look at some of the statistics put out by the university and stuff about the average age of a farmer. You're looking at the average age of a farmer. I think the last one was 57 years old, and I'll be 57 in May. And there is a lot of hours. I mean, he quoted, the last speaker quoted 80 hours a week. I wished I could get by with 80 hours a week. Other speakers talk about water quality, and you know, I've myself, my sons, my grandchildren's, out of the 10 of them, 6 actually live on the farm, 5 actually right now. I can't keep track of all the kids, but live right on the farm there. So we're always aware of the water quality. The same thing as water usage. We always, you know, there is a lot of usage with dairy operations, but there has to be a product that comes out at the end. Some of the things that sort of get me and sort of, you know, get at a person is, you know, it's like they wrote the citing laws, and now they're gonna look at them again, and maybe they need to do some reevaluations, but to make large changes in these rules can really set back a farm financially. After this last year, the prices we got for our products, you know, our bankers look at us like, well, are you gonna last another year? And a lot of the rules that are changed, they're changed that force us to expand. Because to pay for the manure storage and all the different ways of applying the manure properly, we have to put these into operation, and it's a very large cost to us. And I don't know, my sons, sometimes they said, I love the opportunity to farm, and I think I loved it since I was a little kid, and I only grew up on a 20 cow dairy farm with 15 brothers and sisters. But I had the opportunity to farm with my father-in-law, and we built the farm from a smaller farm and grew and expanded as my sons came into the operation. So I said, to survive, it can be difficult. I mean, the rules have to be looked at on the financial side of the farmers. I heard a statistic last week that there's one country that was an exporter of agricultural products. Right now they import a lot of their products because of public intervention, and rules have forced the farmers out, and now they're importers. And I don't think that we as a nation need to look at importing. I had the opportunity 2 weeks ago actually, to go to Mexico on a missions trip, and we heard stories of people eating off garbage piles, and I don't think that's the way we need to leave our country.